that would still fall under the called on.
Yeah, you ready to go? Your new suit on. You ready? Wow. Yeah, I'd like to call the first page. Here we go. I'd like to call the May 16th, 2023 Irmo Town Council meeting to order. Like to let you remind you that we are being live streamed on YouTube. If you come up to the mic to give a presentation, please talk into the microphone and identify yourselves. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation by Mr. Bill Danielson, please. Thank you. The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, blessings you've bestowed upon us, we want to pray that you guide us to the best. I want to pray for our armed forces and all of our children. And you with God well.
Amen. You can see it. We have received the minutes from April 18th and May 2nd electronically. We all had opportunity to review it. Is there a motion for acceptance of the minutes from May 18th? Is there a motion for acceptance of the minutes of 18th? I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any changes to the minutes from May 18th? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Opinion of the chair, it's unanimous. We accept it. Also received the May 2nd, 2023 minutes electronically. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes?
Second.
Okay. Are there any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as written, say aye.
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 All opposed? Seeing none. Report of standing. Administrative briefing. We received the administrative briefing electronically for this meeting. Are there any changes for the administrator on the administrative briefing? Seeing none, Mr. Administrator, do you have any changes for us? Okay. Fantastic. New in-town businesses. Mrs. Sickinger, do we have any new in-town businesses?
We sure do, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounce anyone here. Salon 7711, Sheila Reams. Carolina Conservation LLC, Extravagant Beauty Bar. Grandma's Girls Believes in Dreams. Calm Creations. Key Blends Barber Studio. Capera Beauty. Lake Murray Tobacco and Vape. Styles by Sarah, Seafood Express of SC, Tungsten Cross LLC, Soundplug Recording Studio. There's another page. Styles by Fran, Cola Bear Express Ice Cream, and Palmetto Trinity Holdings. Welcome to town.
Thank you very much. Amendments to agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda as written?
Yeah, I would like
Say-
to
Go ahead.
motion that we move item 13 to right before item 10.
Is that your motion?
Is that a motion to suspend the rules?
That's a
to
motion.
Suspend the rules and move that out of order.
Yeah, your motion's out of order if you're saying that's a motion to move that up. Agenda item, executive session schedule.
Mr. Mayor?
Any other?
Yeah, I have a motion to suspend the rules
Okay,
and move the executive session item number 13 to after item number 9, unfinished business.
I'll second that.
okay. It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion on that motion? Okay, what's the reason for that motion? We have an executive session scheduled for personnel matter. There's no personnel matter on the agenda. So why do we need to take it out of order?
Give it its due time and ensure that the length of the meeting does not have a detrimental impact on the intent of the executive session.
Say it again, now, does the meeting have
So
the
that,
executive session is at the end of the meeting, and you're saying you want to take it out of order so it doesn't have a detrimental effect on the executive session?
that the regular order does not have due to the length of the meeting, does not have a detrimental impact on the topics discussed in the executive session.
Okay. If that's it? Okay, I believe I'm ruling your motion out of order.
Point of order?
Okay?
Mr. Mayor, you previously moved similarly to move items during the amendments to the agenda using suspending of the rules. For what reason is it out of order?
Because there is no reason to take an executive session talking about a personnel matter, when we don't have a personnel matter on this agenda. There is no other personnel matter on the agenda.
I agree
We
with
can
you.
take
that's
it
correct.
off, we can take it in executive session at the end.
I mean,
I just ruled it out of order. Moving on.
well,
Is there any-
then I appeal the decision of the chair.
Well, the chair has ruled it out of order, and
And I appeal the
and
decision of the chair.
Consideration of communication. Are there consideration of communications? Moving on, recognition.
I'd like to call on our attorney for a clarification.
Motion to suspend the rules requires a second. It is not debatable, and it is not amendable, and it requires a two-thirds vote to carry. So it is in order at this point in the meeting, but it does require, and I believe it has been seconded, but it does require a
Right.
two-thirds vote.
Okay. You want to take a vote on it? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes?
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
No. Okay, we're going to take item 13 out of order, go into executive session for, I believe it says a personnel matter on. Looking for it. What does it say? Read it out for me.
Sure. Executive session, technically on my agenda, nothing is listed, but it's for a personnel matter.
Well, what does it say, the rest of it?
Council may act on items
No,
discussed.
no. A
it.
personnel matter for what?
That's what I have.
No, it says some more than that.
That's,
What does the thing say for personnel? Can you read up what it says for the personnel matter, please?
Mr.
That we're
Mayor,
going in for executive session?
Personnel Matter, Section 30-4-70A1, Employee Turnover and Retention.
Thank you. That's what we're going into executive session out of order for.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right? Is there a motion to go into executive session? We already took the motion to suspend the rules. We're going into executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Point of order was to make it after item number 9.
Huh?
It was to make it after item number 9, unfinished business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we still got to do 7,
All right, no problem. I got you.
8.
Sorry about that. Okay. Consideration of communications. recognition. Come on down front, please. Thank you. They didn't? Okay, come on up. How you doing? I'm Mayor Barry, and this is
My family.
oh, hey, Familia, how you doing? Who is this?
This is my son Ansel,
Ansel?
Elena,
Elena?
and Amari.
Marie, come on in. Hey, nice to meet you. Come on up here. And thank you all so much for coming. We are recognizing, every month we recognize a different business in the town of Irmo for being, you know, a great contributor to the bottom line of the town of Irmo.
Yes.
And so this month, we're recognizing Blush Facial Studios, which is your company,
Yes.
as being the small business of the month for the town of Irmo for May 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all give a big hand. If you can tell us, I'll hold it for you. Tell us a little bit about your
Sure.
business.
My name is Carmina Hernandez. I'm originally from Chicago, so I'm a transplant here, but you guys have received me very nicely. I've been in business here for since November. I have my studio on Broad River Road next to San Jose Mexican restaurant. I am a licensed esthetician. I perform facials, advanced skincare treatments, brow lamination, waxing, lash lifting. So if you guys have any questions, you can go to my website. It's www.blush-aesthetics.com. Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you. All right, give her a big hand.
Thanks.
Here we go. Thank you. Come on. Here we go. We are moving on with the school showcase, and this month or this meeting, we're recognizing Nursery Road Elementary. Dr. Waldman, if you would take us through that.
Yes. Tonight, we're going to hear a presentation from Principal Carrie Fisher and the magnet lead teacher, Lisa Brooks, from Nursery Road Elementary School Arts Magnet.
Good evening. I'm Carrie Fisher. Before we start with the presentation, I do have a couple thank yous. First of all, thank you, Dr. Waldman, for introducing us to the Town Council and for inviting us here. I'd like to thank Mayor Walker. You have been at our school and participated in a school improvement council meeting and also came to our Black History Month assembly featuring Cola Jazz Foundation and West Warm Daddy Anderson. I'd also like to give a shout out to Officer Dennis. We are so privileged to have your son at our school. And Officer Dale, we're so privileged to have your son and your amazing wife at Nursery Road. Thank you. As you see on the slide, we are an arts magnet school. And the next slides give a little bit more information. As you know, Nursery Road, we were built in 1980. It was a plant nursery on Nursery Road. Our mission is to motivate, empower, and support, and that's really through arts integration to give students an opportunity to demonstrate their comprehension in some unconventional ways. That could be through a poem, that could be through theater, it could be through interpreting angles on the sky, shadows. So we do really a lot of different types of lessons, and this is our 6th year as an arts magnet school. We received a $3.4 million grant in fall of 2017 from the federal government for the Magnet Schools Assistance Program, and we have our magnet established, and we will still stay a magnet, even though we've used all that money wisely. And Ms. Brooks is going to tell us a little bit more how we're going to sustain that magnet.
So we have we have a few grants. Would you like to talk we have a few grants that you'll see on the next slide. It'll talk about, we have a grant from the South Carolina Arts Commission, the ABC grant, and we are an ABC certified school. We have a grant from the South Carolina Department of Education, the DAP grant, which is the Distinguished Arts Program grant. So we're constantly finding ways to have support for our Arts Magnet programming, and so we're so thankful to be a part of that. Also through the MSAP funding, through the federal grant, we are a Magnet School of Excellence. That became, we had to apply for that, and we're awarded that this school year. And we also are a Magnet School certification, certified Magnet School, which was a very laborious, intense application that we passed, and we were awarded a Magnet. We're a certified Magnet School.
I think a very important thing about our school that we would like you, the town council, and also our listeners to know, we are actively seeking community partners. We want to be that hub in the community where parents, community members, businesses are engaged as our stakeholders, and we want to bring value to the community as well. We are excited that our enrollment is increasing through our Arts Magnet. This year we have increased by 36 students who have chosen us, and we're very excited about that. So we are we're looking forward to partnering with you more, and certainly if anyone listening would like to come out and visit us, we'd love to have you.
We also wanted to just share that we have several things that make us different from other schools, and other than being an art school, we piloted something this year with our 5th grade. Mayor Walker came to see this. It was called Creating Original Opera. It talks a little bit more about that on the next slide as well. And we took the entire 5th grade, and students applied for one of 12 jobs. They were hired in our company. They wrote, designed, created, built, makeup, costume, PR, historian, writer, composer, and even performed in their own original 30-page 6-song opera. They built the sets. We had electricians that built lights. They worked all year long on this process, and we performed our opera the first week of April, right before spring break. And so these students have just really just found their voice. There were about 80 kids in 5th grade, and only 8 were on stage, so 72 got them there. And so we just showed how what it takes to make a production. So we'd love to invite you guys to come see that next year, because we're going to do that every year because it's in our strategic plan moving forward.
We did want to highlight some parent involvement opportunities. We, through our School Improvement Council, we have something called Watchdogs to bring dads and father figures into the school. We call them dads of great students. We have a lot of amazing volunteers and mentors for our students, and we have an extremely active parent-teacher organization that they help us keep our spirits high and support our staff. We just had Staff Appreciation Week, and it was very exciting, and of course, projects for students throughout the year. I think that's the final slide, so I do want to thank you, and certainly we would love to have anyone come and visit, and along with Dr. Ross's message of of loving and growing, we believe our students can achieve, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we have the community connections. And we have several this month, and I'll go through them. The American Red Cross is holding a blood drive at the Harbison Rec Center, and that is this Thursday, May 18th, from noon until 4 p.m. On May 20th, on the next slide, there will be a story walk premiere at the Green Iceberg Community Garden in Rawls Creek Park. This will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's at the Rawls Creek Park, which is at 1113 Friars Gate Boulevard. On Thursday, May 20, oh. On May 27th, there's the Silent Disco Festival, which will be held in the Community Park of Irmo. This is an event where attendees can rent headphones and listen to music of their choice. There'll be several stations that they can listen to while they're going through the park. There'll be vendors, there'll be activities. And that's why it's referred to as a silent disco, because you will be hearing the music that you want to hear, and everybody could be listening to whatever genre they're choosing on their headphones. Again, this is May 27th from 5 to 10 p.m. in the Community Park of Irmo. On Thursday, May 25th from 5 to 8 p.m. in the Community Park, at the Magnolia Shelter, there will be Irmo Alive After 5. This is an opportunity for people to just take a break on Thursday evening after work, come by and grab something to eat from the food trucks that'll be there, and grab a drink, enjoy some music, and just share with each other. And I think this is the last item I have for tonight. This is the Juneteenth celebration, which will be on June 19th, 2023. At 3:30 p.m., there will be a presentation at the Harbison Theater, the Midlands Tech. And then at 6:15, there'll be a celebration at the Community Park of Irmo.
Okay, is that it?
Mr. Mayor, that's all.
Okay, thank you. A lot of activities going on in town. I'm glad to see that. This is a part where we have presentation by citizens on the agenda items. You're allowed to come up here and tell us what you want and on the items we're going to be talking about and voting on tonight. There's nobody signed up, but is there anybody who has the inkling to come up and talk to us? It did not sign up. Just come on up, give us your name and address. Anybody who wants to talk? Okay. Come on up, give us your name and address, and tell us the item, the agenda item you would like to address us on.
Good evening. Michael Lizeski, 235 Torrington Road. Under 10, either A or B, just with regards to whatever funding's being distributed, be it general fund or anything allocated to us from the federal government, just to beseech that some attention is paid to roads, in particular Royal Tower, and just the impression of roads in town leaves an impression on people. So just to do that. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else would like to speak? Did not sign up. Anybody else? Okay.
Good evening.
Give us your name and address. or name.
Maxine Sumter, and I'm representing Young's Chapel AME Church right
Okay.
down the street. And I'm here to speak on agenda item H, and that is we're requesting that the town close Carlisle Street on May 27th. We're having a community yard sale from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's on the agenda, and I wanted to come and speak on that.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else would like to make a comment? Okay, seeing none, moving on. We're going to take the executive session out of order. We're going to suspend the rules and take the executive session out of order. Is there a motion?
So move.
I'll second.
ain't any time.
Okay, we are back from our executive session. Is there a motion to resume
So moved.
the agenda? Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving right along, thank y'all for indulging us with this executive session out of order. New business, first reading of our fiscal 23-24 budget. The schedule is on the screen. We have a $9,178,321 annual fiscal budget. Is there a motion for first reading acceptance?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Danielson, Eric, what would you like to speak on this?
That this is a budget that reflects a lot of work from the town staff. And this is the short version, by the way. The long version is published and available as well as we go through this, but and it's been discussed at workshop as well. So I'm in favor.
Okay, Mr. Danielson?
Yeah, everything here has been discussed. It's open to the public, and I see no reason to belabor the point.
Okay, Mr. Bush?
Same.
Dr. Wallman?
Same.
Okay, I would really encourage the people to look at the annual budget. If you have an opportunity, it's very important that you understand where your $9,178,321 is going to. That's the biggest budget we have ever had in the town of Irmo since I've been on council for the last 19 years. That being said, will the clerk read the roll, please?
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
Yes. First reading of ordinance 2308, and that's for the allocation of the ARPA money. As you know, the President and Congress has sent us $5 million, $5,056,297.44 to recover from Corona. And this is the first reading of all of our expenditures that we have in that $5 million, which includes $800,000 for the downtown district, and as well as other items in that $5 million that we're planning on spending. I'll make that motion for first reading. Is there a second? Is there a second for the first reading of that particular ordinance? Not getting a second, this means that ordinance has failed. We're not actually withdrawing that $800,000 from the budget, which is what we were told that we were going to do. Moving right along, first reading of ordinance 2309. This is a grant to grant Loomis Fiber of South Carolina access to our building, our roads, and our right-of-ways. Is there a motion for first reading of that ordinance?
So moved.
A second.
Okay, Eric and Kelly. Mr. Sickinger.
Yeah, this is really cursory. We really we have a responsibility to sign this, assuming that that all the stuff is in order, and it is. And I'm excited to have more fiber in larger parts of the town.
Kelly?
It offers some more competition between vendors, so I'm for it.
Okay, Dr. Wallman?
Yes, we had discussed this in workshop already, so I think this is pretty clear.
Mr. Danielson?
Yeah, again, no reason to labor the point. Competition is always good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the first reading, I don't know what's happening here. Is that me? No. The first reading of this ordinance 2309 is granting Loomis Corporation the ability to run fiber optics within the town limits, and I believe some areas outside the town limits, which we have no control over. In return, we're going to have the ability to get Wi-Fi accessibility in all of our parks. That's a good thing, I believe, and I believe that's something that's going to be a plus from this development, from this new access to the Wi-Fi. However, you need to be on notice that they're going to be coming through, just like AT&T did, and drilling holes and digging up people's properties to run this fiber. We have certain safeguards in the ordinance that says that if they do that, they need to repair the work that they did and all the damage they may do. So that being said, the clerk, is there any more comments? Will the clerk read a roll?
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
No. Item D, first reading of ordinance 2310, and that's to correct some language in our zoning table. Is there a motion for a first reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yeah, this is the effect of some of the continued cleanup of the codes and tables and zoning. So any clarification we can provide to the public is a good thing, so I'm in favor.
Okay, Mr. Bush?
I mirror his comments.
Dr. Wallman?
Yes, I think this is cleanup, and this has been discussed by the Planning Commission and recommended by them.
Okay, and Mr. Danielson?
Same thoughts as Dr. Waldman, coming from the Planning Commission and approved by our zoning coordinator / planning specialist / second in charge. So I'm good with that.
Okay, will the clerk read a roll, please?
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes. Item E, first reading of ordinance 2311 to rezone TMS R03202-0116 from residential general to fringe agricultural. Recommendation came from the Planning Commission. Is there a motion for first reading?
So moved.
There's a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Sickinger.
So this is an interesting move, but for the intended use, it certainly makes sense. And the staff findings agreed with the reasoning for the move from RG to FA. And Planning Commission recommended approval as well, so I'm in favor.
Bush.
I'm always in favor of going backwards and keeping green space.
Okay. Dr. Wallman.
I'm in favor.
Mr. Danielson.
Yeah, it seems like this is what they want to do. The folks want to have some kind of a horse farm there, and then they certainly have the right to do that. And so I'm in support.
Okay. Realizing that going from RG, which is surrounded by RG on all sides except for one side, which is FA, this allows them to not only have a horse farm, but allows them to have chickens and goats and shoot their gun on a regular basis. So if there is somebody who does decide to build a housing complex in the RG zoned area of town, they're gonna have a neighbor that can have a shooting range. And that's probably not the smartest thing to have. Again, if the owner wants to have it zoned so he can have a farm, and the Planning Commission has gone along with it, again, I have a problem with that, but this is first reading. So if I get some more information between now and first reading, I'll certainly look at that. Is there any more comments? Will the clerk read the roll, please?
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
No. Approval of Resolution 2303 to adopt piece of land from the Irmo Fire District. This land is costing us $0. This is a donation from the Irmo Fire District. It's contiguous to the police department. We're happy to have it. Is there a motion for, I'll make that motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
And again, this is located right contiguous to the police department. And this is what is it, a quarter of an acre or something? Half acre? It's a half acre. So it's a half acre piece of land. It's, beg your pardon? It's almost an acre? Okay. It's almost an acre that we're getting donated to the town, and it's contiguous to the police department. Any future growth in the police department or any of that we want to do on that area, we have the real estate to do it. Any comments, Mr.?
Just to note that I think the slide is just mislabeled the resolution number incorrectly, but that's just Scrivener, right? So, because the ordinance itself actually is labeled 2303, just for clarity. Because you had said 2303, and I didn't want folks to be confused. And I
What is
certainly
it?
appreciate the donation. I mean, this is
Oh,
huge
23.
to be able to, in fact, it's necessary for us to be able to accomplish the plans that we have. So, yeah, I'm in favor.
Mr. Danielson?
I'm good with that. I appreciate the fact that they are donating it to us, wherever it may go. Be critical to our future expansion plans for the town.
Okay. Mr. Bush?
Always embrace the generosity of the Irmo Fire Department.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes, I too appreciate the donation.
Okay. Clerk, read the roll, please.
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
Yes. Approval of extension of the intergovernmental agreement between the City of Columbia and the Town of Irmo to maintain the interchange between I-26 and Lake Murray Boulevard. This agreement will be for an additional 4 years, and it's a beautiful interchange that Witt and his company keeps. Is there a motion for approval of the extension of the intergovernmental agreement?
So moved.
Eric, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bush, all right? All right, Eric, is there,
No, it speaks for itself.
okay? Mr. Bush,
I was going to ask, what actually is this agreement entail? All for that, definitely.
any other comments? Clerk, read the roll, please.
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
Yes. Okay. Item H, approval of the closure of Carlisle Street on May 27, 2023, from 6 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. in the afternoon, so that Young's Chapel AME Church can hold a community yard sale and a fish fry. Only after, is there a motion for approval of the road closure?
So moved.
Eric, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Sickinger
Great idea. I'm in favor.
and Mr. Danielson.
I think it's a no-brainer. They're going to have a good day, and we're going to close the road so everybody can have a good time.
Okay, Mr. Bush.
I mirror the same, but I would like to ask the chief if there's any logistical issue.
Sorry.
No, we've been in contact with Reverend Sumter, and it's pretty understood that little block right there is not very well traveled, but we'll have enough signage and an officer out to help with that.
Dr. Wallman.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with this road closure.
And that's just in front of the church to Columbia Avenue, right? Is that right? I don't see a problem on it as long as I can get some fish. And if I can't get any fish at the fish fry, we're going to have issues and consequences that we need to, I'm kidding. Thank you. Will the clerk read a roll, please? Clerk, read a roll, please.
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
Yes. Item I, approval to install electricity needed for the Rawls Creek project, the park project. This is the electrical work is needed to run the lights as well as the fountain and the gates, the security gates that we are bidding out at the next, on the next item. Is there a motion for approval?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was Bill, right? Okay. All right, Eric?
Just to say, just continued work on that Wells Creek Park, and it'd be a shame if we decided to not do the things necessary to actually use it. So I'm in favor.
Okay, and Mr. Danielson?
Yeah, I'm in favor. We're down the road. I would like to ask Courtney, what, not to put you on the spot, but what do we have roughly invested, about $700K in this thing now? The park?
Yeah, we've probably got a little shy of that in it right now.
And more to come, so,
Yeah.
but I'm eager to get it opened. I concur with Mr. Sickinger that it's, I'm still waiting to register my dog.
Mr. Bush?
I yield my time.
Dr. Wallman?
This is the next step we need to do.
And I agree. This is something that we're going to need to get the dog park to completion, as well as to help out the community garden, which, by the way, as you mentioned, we're having a big event this weekend. And I would love to see the fountain working that we spent thousands of dollars to have installed. We got a lot of stuff happening in our town that's very positive. I'm happy with it. Will the clerk read a roll, please?
Mr. Bush?
Yay.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
Dr. Waldman?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker?
Yes. Approval to install access control security locks for the new Rawls Creek Park, for the dog park, as well as the community garden, and all the security features we need for that. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second it. Mr. Danielson?
Continuation of the last item, so I'm still waiting to get the dog registered.
By the way, we're having a Zoom meeting tomorrow night on the dog park. If anybody's interested in watching that or Zooming in, go to the dog park Facebook page, click on the link tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll be talking about this and other things that matter with the dog park. Yes, this is going to be pushing us forward to completion. As you know, we've already gotten the fencing done. We're getting the electrical run, and now the actual locking system, the key fob system, which all the dog park as well as the community garden needs to be able to register people and sign them up, will be in place. Mr. Sickinger?
I don't mind which direction you go, it's all right.
Right.
Yeah, and that's, I was going to mention the fobs, because then the whole point of the locks, just to be clear, is to make sure that while it is a public park, that access to that dog park is restricted to folks who their dogs have provided, their owners, not the dogs themselves,
members.
have provided the paperwork about
Yeah.
their shots, and we have control of saying that you can't be there anymore because your dog's a problem, right?
Right.
And it just makes it for a little bit of a safer environment for them as well. And for those folks who are commenting on Facebook as to why the park isn't open yet, it's because it's not open yet. So there are a lot of people saying, I went there with my dog. Well, it's not there yet.
Bush?
I'm always excited when we use a local company for our expenditures.
Barb? Well, Dr. Wallman?
Just for clarification, the key fob system will be installed on the community garden as well. So they'll have to switch over to getting registered with the key fobs.
Correct.
Okay, clerk read the roll, please.
Bush,
Yay.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. All right, approval to replace the aging playground equipment, which is, oh my goodness, this is in the community park. How long is the community park? 10 years old now? I think it's 10 years old. I can't remember.
Sure.
How old is it? 12. Okay. To replace the aging playground equipment parks in the community park in the amount of $11,750. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll
Second.
second. Oh, you second it, Mr. Bush? Okay. Go ahead, Eric.
Mr. Witt has requested this, and, you know, I've been there and walked it. It needs it. And it hasn't been upgraded in all that time it's been used a whole heck of a lot. Every weekend when I go by there, it's being used heavily, so it's a good investment.
Mr. Bush.
I mirror his comments and yield my time.
Dr. Waldman.
Yes, it's just maintenance we need to do.
Mr. Danielson.
Yeah, I just want to remind the folks that these parks are expensive to run, maintain, upkeep, safety for our children. So there are ongoing expenses, and this is just one of those where I guess we're lucky we got 12 years out of that stuff. So absolutely, I'm in favor.
Okay, and we gotten 12 years out of the first go-round. But I remember when I was a little boy, we used to have rusted slides, and we didn't have all the high-dollar, high-tech equipment we have in these parks. And they were there for years. I don't think they ever replaced that. I think, matter of fact, I still think the swing that was there, it's 1920, is still in use in my boyhood park. But anyway, we are at the point where we can afford to change these things out and make it even better for our citizens. So I'm excited about it. Will the clerk read a roll?
Mr. Bush,
Yay.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
Mayor Walker.
Yes. Okay. Approval of the new branding, the Town of Irmo. Staff put that on there. This is what the old seal looks like, and this is what the new seal is proposed to look for, a refreshed seal. I guess, and there's the new logo, which is basically changing the font type of the logo and everything. So is there a motion for approval? I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
You second it? Okay, we are, you know, as we page through it looks great. I think there's one thing I'd like to point out, and that is that we need to maintain the color scheme of the town and not have a myriad of what they have on this screen of orange and pink and light green and dark green. I think we need to keep it to the traditional blue and white color scheme, blue and white and black color scheme that we've had for years. Because of the cost that's going to be involved with changing everything over. Do we have any cost estimates on that to change everything? We don't? Okay. All right. That's my 2 cents. Eric?
I'm not an aesthetics design person, but certainly the upgrade looks good and keeps us looking a little modern to the world, to the community.
Dr. Bill Danielson?
I got my doctorship again, but this is good. This is easier than going to get my PhD. Thank you. Yeah, this has been something that, frankly, hasn't been on my list of really important things to do. But I can appreciate the amount of work that went in it, and I think we've already spent a bunch of money in personnel and design to do this. And my understanding is the color schemes are different based on where they're going to be put and based on the color of what they're going to be put on. So that's why you have these different color schemes, I guess. So I'm okay with that.
Bush?
I think variety is the spice of life, and it was probably time to do a refresh. And I've had some community feedback, and they appreciate it, so I'm in favor.
Dr. Waldman, the real Dr. Waldman.
I'm in favor too. I like the color scheme. I like the variation that there's, different styles that can go on to different things, different articles of clothing or hats or whatever, bumper stickers, that there's a lot of variation, but it all has that same font, same theme. I'm good with it.
Mr. Mayor, one comment I neglected to make was I have gotten a bunch of feedback from folks who urged me to support this, so that's just kind of where I'm at.
Okay?
Mr. Mayor? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Secretary.
And I think one thing to, and it's related but also not. The town is doing a lot of things right now, and there's a lot of really important stuff that we're talking about and thinking about, and that staff are talking about and thinking about every day. Passing this is not a reflection of importance of this over another item. It's simply what's on the agenda. And I say that because I know that there are people both watching and here tonight that obviously have things that are very important to them. Why are you doing this when you could be focused? It's not one or the other. This isn't a binary choice to work on branding, and we're not worrying about, Beacon Hill or other stuff that's happening in town. It's just something on the agenda that now we can finally pass and move on to the next thing. I just think that that's a really important thing because I know I'm going to be reading about it. So I figured I'd just address it up front.
Anybody else? Clerk, read the roll, please, on approval of the branding.
Mr. Bush,
New
Yay.
brand logo.
Mr. Danielson.
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
Dr. Waldman,
Yes.
and Mary.
Yeah,
Mayor Walker.
that guy. Yeah, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to this council meeting, sitting through our executive session that was taken out of order, waiting through all of that. And if you are at the end of our meeting, which you are right now, and you have signed up on our list to speak about items that we heard about tonight that got passed and didn't get passed, I'd like for you to come up when I call your name. And if you didn't sign up and you'd like to come up afterwards, you can do that also. And I'd like to start with Mr. Greg Studemeyer. Mr. Studemeyer, who come up and please identify yourself. we can't poll the council, we're not taking votes right now. Let us know what you want us to know. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Studemeyer. Thank you, Mrs. Studemeyer. Mr. Mobley. Up and give us. Sorry, can you turn the mic on? Is the mic on? Or? Courtney, where's the other mic? You got another mic over there. Thank you. I didn't hear that. The battery went dead. Think.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Edel Mobley. I live in Hill Creek subdivision. I've been a member of the HOA, and we had some concerns and questions about the Cooper's Trace apartments that are across the street from us. Our question is, I know y'all have an Arbor Day committee, and we have some suggestions if there could be some additional landscaping or trees put in the area on that side, mainly between the car wash. In that area in front of Cooper's Trace, to kind of upgrade the area to make it look a little bit nicer. I know the area hasn't been maintained that well in the past month or two. We've had a lot of concerns about that, tall grass, weeds. I know that's probably something y'all are working on to get that under control. But can we do something with the Arbor Day Committee to add more landscaping, mainly to kind of screen the area? They pretty much clear cutted that area in the front for future development. And just want to know if there was some idea of what we could do to kind of spruce that area up, make it look more presentable for the city of Irmo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Michael I think Mike already left. Michael Lazeski? Yeah, he already left. He spoke earlier. Is there anybody else who would like to speak? Come on up. Speak to council on things that you heard tonight and let us know how you feel or what you feel. Come on up. Come on up. You can speak to anything you want to speak to us on.
Good evening, council, police chief, and everyone. My name is Lawrence Coleman. I stay at 13 East Slayton Court in Irmo. I'm coming before the council recommending a proposal that my uncle Robert Curtis Corley be recognized in the town of Irmo as the first African-American police chief based on some not police chief, excuse me, officer. He wasn't the first chief, but he was the first black police officer in Irmo in 1969 to 1971. I shared some information with the police chief earlier, and I'm just asking the council to recognize him, a proclamation, whatever, that he in fact, and I'll be glad to share the information with the council upon your request and the police chief again to make that known in the town of Irmo. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you. Anybody else like to address council on anything you want us to know? Okay. All right, seeing none. We don't have a discussion. We took the executive session out of order. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So move.
Second.
The second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion, the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
We did it. Things considered. Well,